Hi folks, Darren here, SOVA Systems. Wanted to spend a brief moment with you and go over a new feature that we've just added to our mobile application. And it involves being able to capture images of individuals that could be persons of interest that you've encountered at your property, and compare the captured images to images that you have in your library for persons of interest that you've seen at your property in the past. So very, very cool feature. So I'm going to go through this with you briefly. So it assumes that you have some persons of interest already added in your library. So we're going to go up here to these three dots. This takes us into our context menu. We're going to scroll down until we get to persons of interest. You see that right there in the middle. We're going to click on that. And that takes us into our persons of interest list. Now your list may be hundreds of people long. So you encounter, let's just say you encounter a person at your property and you're interviewing them and you're talking with them and you think that you might recognize them. You know, currently the options that you have available to you prior to this update is to scroll through your list of persons of interest, and you may have an alias that you know the person by. You may actually have their first and last name, so you can search by either one of those fields. But you know, in some cases you don't have an alias and you don't have a first and last name. All you have is photos that you took of the individual when they were at your location last, and this could be photos that you took from your mobile app. It could be photos, screen grabs that you took from your CCTV camera system, things like that. So you have images of the individual that you want to keep tabs on. So we're going to go ahead and use this individual. He may be recognizable to you. He is Denzel Washington, Hollywood movie star. We went ahead and changed his name because we were searching. We just were wanting to kind of see how our search is going to work if we went ahead and mixed up the name. So we have his image there. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire up our face scan feature. So we're going to go ahead and click the three dots up here. Again, this is context menu, so this changes based on what screen you're in. So the only option that is here for person of interest is face scan. So we're going to go ahead and click that. What that's going to do, it's going to ask us to make sure we want to do that. We're going to go ahead and click capture. Now it's going to open up the camera. So we have an image of Denzel here. We're going to go ahead and capture that, just like you would capture any other image. So we're going to click OK. And what our app is going to do now, it's actually going to go to the internet. It takes a face scan of the person that we just captured. It looks at mathematical parameters, distance between the eyes, nose, cheeks, ears, all those kinds of things, and it creates what's called a face ID. Then what it does is it takes that mathematical formula and it compares it to any of the face IDs that we have on the website. So as you can see, just while I was talking, it only took a couple of seconds, and it went ahead and compared the facial characteristics of Denzel that we have in our library. Now we have about 5 or 6 pictures of Denzel. So what it does is it takes lots of different angles, or we have lots of different angles of this individual in our persons of interest library. So therefore, when we're actually comparing with an image that we took more recently, it will quickly go and see if there's any matches in our library. Now, another thing that we added recently is we can go ahead and hold our finger down on this individual here and we can add an encounter. We didn't have this feature available before. So the only way that you could add encounters previously in SOVA is to add an encounter from the web. So you're out doing a property patrol and you encounter a person of interest. You could take a picture of them previously, and then you could go back to the web and you could sit and you could complete an encounter to that individual or for that individual, and you would complete all the information the same as you've always done on the web. So now we have the ability to add an encounter directly from the mobile app. So if we click that, it takes us into a screen, looks similar to what you've seen, shows the individual there and date, time of the encounter. We can add an additional encounter image just in case the person might have changed their appearance, might have grown a beard, might have bleached their hair, anything like that. So we can add an encounter image, because then this image up here is the library image that we have for the individual. So again, as you encounter persons of interest over the years, their appearance could change considerably. So it's nice to have updated photos of those individuals. So you would then add a date, time in here, your property selected there, location, whether or not you saw them indoors, outdoors, or whatnot. Add a encounter location on a map. You can click that and you can drag a pin on a map there, and you can indicate exactly where you've encountered that person, or alert level, whether or not police were contacted, trespass was issued, those kinds of things. So that's another feature that's available to you now in the mobile application. So again, Enjoy that. I think it'll be very helpful, especially for locations that have a large library of persons of interest. As I said, we've got clients in SOVA that have hundreds and hundreds of persons of interest going back, spanning several years. So this is a nice feature because you can take a picture of the individual, and even if they have sunglasses on, grew some facial hair, change their hairstyle, all those kinds of things, the algorithm that we're using is very powerful, and it's very accurate in that even some basic characteristic changes, visual characteristics changes, it's not going to trip up our system. So it's very, very accurate. So go ahead and try that out. In order to do that, the thing that you need to do first is you need to go in and edit your persons of interest. So by editing your persons of interest in your library, what it does is it triggers a face scan to be created for each image that you have in your persons of interest library for that individual. So you have to go into each person of interest and you have to edit slightly. You might change the description, you might do something. So what it does then, as I said, is it tells the system, hey, this is a new person of interest that we want to begin tracking. We want to create face IDs for this individual, and it goes ahead and creates those mathematical calculations in the back end for that person of interest for all the images that you've saved in there. So the next time you go and you scan a face image for this individual because you think that you may have encountered them on your property, then it does this comparison. So one step that you need to do on your end is go ahead and go into your person of interest library and update your records there so you can have face IDs for those individuals. So that's all I wanted to show you. Hopefully you will take advantage of that. We are very excited about it. We've done a lot of testing on it, and it took some time to get this up and running for you, but we think it's a very useful feature. So take a look and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.